Welcome to Intelligence Gateway. How can you ensure the accuracy of automated processes? Ensuring the accuracy of automated processes is essential to avoid errors and ensure that the process runs smoothly. Here are some ways to ensure the accuracy of automated processes. Validate input data. Ensure that the input data used in the automated process is accurate and complete. This can be achieved by validating the data before it enters the automation tool. Test the automation. Test the automation tool before deploying it in a production environment. This can help identify any errors or issues before they impact the process. Implement error handling. Implement error handling mechanisms to catch errors and handle exceptions in the process. This can include sending alerts or notifications to a human operator or automatically retrying the task. Monitor the process. Monitor the automated process to ensure that it is running smoothly and accurately. This can include monitoring the input data and output results. Use machine learning. Consider using machine learning algorithms to improve the accuracy of the automated process over time. This can help the automation tool learn from past errors and make better decisions in the future. By implementing these measures, you can ensure that the automated process is accurate and reliable. How can you troubleshoot issues with automated processes? When issues arise with automated processes, it is important to troubleshoot them quickly to minimize downtime and avoid errors. Here are some steps you can take to troubleshoot issues with automated processes. Identify the issue. Determine what the issue is and where it is occurring in the process. This can be done by reviewing logs or error messages generated by the automation tool. Gather information. Collect information about the process and the inputs used. This can include input data, configuration settings, and any recent changes to the process. Review the process. Review the process and validate that it is correctly configured and follows the documented steps. Check for errors. Check for errors or issues with the automation tool or the underlying system, such as network connectivity issues or system performance issues. Test the process. Test the process to ensure that it is working correctly. This can include manually executing the steps of the process to validate that they work as intended. Implement a fix. Once the issue has been identified, implement a fix to address the root cause of the issue. This can include modifying the process, updating configuration settings, or fixing issues with the underlying system. Monitor the process. Monitor the automated process to ensure that the issue has been resolved and that the process continues to run smoothly. By following these steps, you can troubleshoot issues with automated processes and ensure that they continue to run smoothly and efficiently. What are the ethical considerations when implementing robotic process automation? When implementing robotic process automation, RPA, there are several ethical considerations that organizations should take into account. Here are some of the key considerations. Data privacy and security. RPA involves the processing of large amounts of data, which may include sensitive or personal information. Organizations should ensure that they have appropriate measures in place to protect this data and comply with relevant data protection regulations. Job displacement. RPA has the potential to automate many repetitive or manual tasks, which may lead to job displacement for human workers. Organizations should consider the impact of RPA on their workforce and develop strategies to support affected employees. Transparency. Organizations should be transparent about their use of RPA and ensure that stakeholders understand how the technology works and how it is being used. Governance and oversight. Organizations should have appropriate governance and oversight mechanisms in place to ensure that RPA is being used ethically and in compliance with relevant laws and regulations. Impact on society. RPA has the potential to have a significant impact on society as a whole. Organizations should consider the broader social implications of their use of RPA and work to mitigate any negative impacts. By taking these ethical considerations into account, organizations can ensure that their use of RPA is responsible and sustainable over the long term. What are the risks associated with implementing robotic process automation? While implementing robotic process automation, RPA, can provide many benefits, there are also several risks that organizations should be aware of. Here are some of the key risks associated with implementing RPA. Data security. RPA involves the processing of large amounts of data, which can be a target for cybercriminals. Organizations must ensure that they have appropriate security measures in place to protect against data breaches and cyber attacks. Compliance risks. Organizations that operate in highly regulated industries must ensure that their RPA implementation is compliant with relevant laws and regulations. Failure to comply can result in fines, legal action, and damage to the organization's reputation. Process complexity. The automation of complex processes can be challenging and may require significant resources and expertise. If not done correctly, the automation can result in errors and inefficiencies. Vendor lock-in. Some RPA vendors may offer proprietary technology or require specific programming languages, which can result in vendor lock-in. Organizations must carefully consider the long-term implications of vendor lock-in when selecting an RPA tool. Job displacement. RPA has the potential to automate many repetitive or manual tasks, which may lead to job displacement for human workers. Organizations must consider the impact of RPA on their workforce and develop strategies to support affected employees. By understanding these risks and taking steps to mitigate them, organizations can implement RPA in a way that maximizes the benefits while minimizing the risks. How can you mitigate the risks associated with robotic process automation? To mitigate the risks associated with robotic process automation, RPA, organizations can take several steps, including data security. To ensure data security, organizations can implement access controls, data encryption, and other security measures to protect against cyber threats. Compliance risks. Organizations should ensure that they are compliant with relevant laws and regulations. This can involve working with legal and compliance teams to identify potential compliance risks and ensure that the RPA implementation meets regulatory requirements. Process complexity. Organizations can mitigate process complexity risks by carefully selecting processes for automation, using a well-defined automation framework, and conducting thorough testing before deployment. Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.